come check out my recent comic haul. Now this haul has issues and books from the last new comic book day of January and the 1st of February. Not a lot of issues here, but some good issues. First up, the last issue in the Chip Zdarsky run of Batman. We have Batman 157 with this Tony Daniel variant. Now, I didn't realize that a lot of people didn't like this run for some reason. I thought it was fantastic. From Failsafe to the Batman of Zenorath, I hope I pronounced that correctly, and then dealing with Commander Starr, aka KG Beast, and Vandal Savage, the Gotham War. I thought this was a very fun series. Oh, and the Joker Year One. I thought this run on Batman was very good, with the highlight of this run being the issue that Batman falls from space. Now, of course, with this run now concluded, we are going to be getting Hush 2 from Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee. Now, this issue in particular, I thought it was a very good finale for this arc. I wish there was some more stuff tied up here, but the basis of this is that Batman and Gordon are both very broken people, but you know, they just want to keep being better men, and that just says something about those characters. I wish that Gordon was brought back up into commissioner status, or was he said that he's going to try to join the force again. So I'm very excited to see what happens now that this runs over and we start up Hush 2. Next up, something I'm very excited that I was able to grab. We have the Absolute Batman. I think this is the 4th printing Akira variant. Now, I love this. The gold on here on the front, the light's kind of screwing it, but it's the gold lettering right here is very like foil-ific, and then the back is just all foil too. But I was very excited to grab this from the Comic Mint. They did a release of this, so I'm very excited. I've been wanting to get this cover. I wish I probably eventually will get the colored version, but the black and white looks so cool. And speaking of that variant, we have the Joker version. This is Batman #1 from the New 52 era, the Scott Snyder version. So we have Joker with his own little Akira variant, with the little Joker cycle, the smile right there. I think this looks so cool. And the hammer, it's just so fantastic. One of my favorite runs from the past year plus has been Tom Taylor's run on Nightwing. Now he's on to Detective Comics, and he actually just announced that he was signing an exclusive deal with DC. But I picked up the latest collection from that Nightwing run. This is volume 6. This sees Dick joining the ship with B to go to the hold to investigate the mysterious hold. And this also has this really cool 2-page storyline with him and Batman interacting with this kid who's lost his parents. I have all of the other collection issues so far, so I'm excited to have this one, and I'm definitely going to grab that last one once it comes out. One of my recent favorite series has been Batgirl, and this is issue 4 of that run. This run has been really fun. I haven't read a lot of Cassandra Cain in the past. This is the first real introduction that I have onto her, but I absolutely love this story. I love the Shiva aspect. I love how she's thinking like Batman, but is that the right thing that she should be thinking? Is that the right way that she should be thinking right now? Or should she be thinking more like her mother? I love the interactions between Cass and having that thought process and dealing with Nissa Al Ghul and all of these other villains or allies, and she doesn't know. But this is a fun story, and if you're not picking it up so far, I definitely suggest grabbing Batgirl. We have Two-Face #3 with this really gorgeous cover. I haven't read this so far. I actually just finished reading the last run of Ram V's Detective Comics, which I have posted my reviews in my Goodreads comic threads. So check those out. I'll probably do another post on Instagram of a kind of culmination of that run. But Two-Face was a huge factor in that storyline. So I'm excited to check this out. I haven't read the first 3 issues yet, but I am very excited to kind of dig more into Harvey Dent, especially where he's easily one of my top 5 Batman villains. I even have the little cartoon animated series version here that I am so that was the best version of Harvey that I grew up with. And then Tommy Lee Jones, Aaron Eckhart, I I love Two-Face. I love the duality of that. I love what he represents for Bruce. And he's just such a fun, like a tragic villain. And I always loved that character. Next up, Poison Ivy number 30 with this gorgeous cover. Now, I haven't read this issue yet, but I have seen that, you know, it's kind of like what All In was, where if you open the cover, it's one way, and if you open up the other side, it's the story backwards, and in the middle, they meet. So I'm kind of, I always love kind of when they do that, showing the two different perspectives of the same story. So I'm kind of excited to check that issue out. Harley Quinn number 47. Speaking of All In, we have the All In special signed by Scott Snyder that I picked up at Midtown Comics. Absolute Superman number 4. I haven't read issues 2 through 4 yet, so they're definitely in my read pile, but I'm going to check these out very soon, and I'll definitely be posting reviews on these. Superman Lex Luthor special. This was a tragic story dealing with so much Superman lore. Should Superman allow Lex Luthor to regain his memories? Does he already have his memories? It's just it was such a interesting read, and I'm interested to see where this new Lex brings us. DC's Lex and the City with this gorgeous Nightwing cover. A lot of these stories in here were good, but my favorite, absolute favorite, was the Damian and Tim Drake story where Tim is showing Damian how to date in Gotham. I thought that was such a well-written story with so much Batman characters being there for Damian, and I thought that was one of the best stories I read so far this year. We have Amazing Spider-Man 65 and 66. This continues the story of the many deaths of Spider-Man, or the 8 deaths of Spider-Man, my apologies. So when this story started, I wasn't such a huge fan of this. I haven't been a huge fan of this run on Spider-Man. We're already getting another number 1. I think the one thing that I like that DC does opposed to Marvel is that they don't do too many number 1s, whereas Marvel, there are so many number 1s, it almost kind of dilutes the fact that there's number 1s. Like if you're changing stories, if you're changing writer, creative teams, just keep on that same story. We don't need to have a new number 1 every 2 to 3, 4 years. Those 2 issues of Spider-Man were probably the best issues that I read of this entire run. Seeing Peter, you know, deal with the visions of so many deaths, and then the after effect of the after effect on Peter Parker afterwards. I just thought it was such a tragic story, and Peter Parker just needs a win, and I hope that he finally gets it. That's the one thing that I wanted from Marvel. Get Spider-Man a win. You know, the ultimate version of Spider-Man right now in comics is such a well-written version of Spider-Man that I wish that was the kind of writing and stories that we were getting in the main Spider-Man story. And last up, very exciting issue. This is Ice Cream Man number 43. It's a book of one-page stories written by so many greats of the comic community, with stories from Patton Oswalt, Grant Morrison, Jeff Johns, Jeff Lemire, and many more. Now, this isn't a part of a haul, but excuse me. Actually, no. Beep. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you thought of my haul.